myself, and my question for you is, have you encountered this, and how do you deal with it yourself? It's those loving Christians who come to me and say, I support you. I think that God, I think Jesus loves us all, and will tell me that, including in my finger, behind closed doors. But the moment that the church door opens and I come walking in,
it's a whole new ballgame.
It's a whole new ballgame. And what do we do? How do we help bridge with those who really do, in their hearts, get it, but aren't quite sure how to share it with others? And I'm wondering how you've dealt with that yourself.
Good question.
I'm a people pleaser, so I kind of want everybody to be able to just get along. And I say that because as much as the experience that you and I may have had as gay people of faith, and walking into that room and us feeling uncomfortable, there are some straight people that feel uncomfortable too. And I think we need to have appreciation of that ongoing dialogue, right? That we have to continue to those of us who can, to be present and to be mindful and just as compassionate for someone who doesn't understand. I'll give you a little bit of an example. In Australia, they're quite comfortable with their vernacular. If you say that, I would like to, my partner and I are going to go out to dinner, and would you like to join us? And if they've not met my partner, they don't know actually whether that's a man or a woman. They actually assume that it's probably a man, because Australians don't have a habit of always calling their spouses by wife or husband, or sometimes they're not even married, even though they've been together for years. So they use that term, partner. And so when I would meet someone and they would say, oh, are you dating somebody? I would know my partner is here, whatever. And there would always come that moment where they would make a mistake and assume that when I said partner that I meant a male. I'm comfortable with it. If I'm totally comfortable with that, saying, oh no, actually my partner is a she. The amount of comfort that I learned that the amount of comfort that I showed and gave them permission to make a mistake spoke volumes. And I think that's in all the LGBT conversations that we have as LGBTs, we need to be mindful that there are people out there who recognize that they've made a mistake, but don't necessarily always know how to apologize well, don't really know what it means because they haven't really met you yet. They don't know how to do it other than going, oh, I'm sorry, I got that wrong. So it's on our part, I think, to kind of have that graceful experience. So the other thing I would just say to that is I think that's what it means, is I think the part of that gets better only with practice and going in. And for those people who can go into church and weather that storm of misunderstanding and miscommunication and continue to be compassionate and graceful in it, and go home and be bitter and angry about it, or spit the dummy, or have a fit, or cuss, and I get mad. The Larry King thing pissed me off to no end. I got in the car after that whole thing was over and I cried my full head off. But I wouldn't do it there. It wasn't appropriate. And even going through experience, I go to Bob Botsford. This guy hasn't had an experience yet that allows him to understand where I'm at. And what I'm going to allow myself to believe is that someday he might. And I want to be the person there that gave him the opportunity to maybe have that, be willing to be available to have that experience again. So, and when we go into church, as a straight ally, as a gay person, when we go into a church, we're just as much showing that we're available to have that interchange happen. So, as a solution, I don't know, but I think grace and compassion goes a very, very, very long way.
You rocked that Larry King, by the way. I saw it.